Good morning, everybody. Welcome to session 2 of the second day of the Big Data Forum, of the United Nations Big Data Forum here in Trinidad and Tobago. My name is Serjan Derek. I am the Resident Coordinator Office Team Leader, and I will be your moderator for today's session. We are very, very excited to be able to welcome you to this session titled Artificial Intelligence, Industrial Application and Global Cooperation, where we have a very distinguished guest for you here today, Dr. Kun Zhai, the Vice President of International Cooperation at iFLYTEK Company Limited. Dr. Kun Zhai majored in Computer Application Technology with a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, majoring in Enterprise Management. He also holds a doctoral degree and is a joint PhD researcher at the University of Alberta in Canada. He has successfully held technology and management positions in Dagong International Credit Evaluation and Huzhou Construction Machinery Group. He has a rich working and leadership experience in international trade and cooperation, computer application technology, industrial application, and artificial intelligence. As noted earlier, he is currently the Vice President of iFLYTEK for International Cooperation. We are very pleased and privileged to welcome Dr. Kun Zhai here. This is a fantastic opportunity for people in Trinidad to hear from a global leader in artificial intelligence. And I would like to invite all participants not only to enjoy Dr. Kun Zhai's presentations, but also if they have any questions or any follow-ups, to use the Q&A option at the bottom of their screen to ask any questions for the discussion that will follow Dr. Kun Zhai's presentations. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the floor to Dr. Kun Zhai. Welcome to the United Nations Big Data Forum, and please, the floor is yours.
Okay, that's my pleasure. No, can we start? No?
Yes, please. The floor is yours. Yeah, you can start. The participants are in, and we can start your presentation.
Okay, good. And also just good morning. But from my side, I will say just good night. So we have the 12 hours and the different time zones. So my just titles about industrial application and international cooperations. Before the presentation, I will show the videos to use, and you can just guess and how many just the technology we have already used.
大家好，我是科大讯飞 AI 虚拟主播小晴，我可以实现多种语言的实时播报。應再用廣東話為你播報。Now I will broadcast for you in English. Сейчас транслируем на русском. 今から日本語での報道を始めます。현재는 한국어로 보도하겠습니다. Now diffuser of Jose. 祝大家身体健康，工作顺利。
Okay.
大家好，
我是科大 using the artificial intelligence. This we call that is a virtual anchor. Virtual anchor, and this persons and is my colleague. We just take the 1 hour about his voice, about his just her and appearance, and also just we give some letters and words they can just say and say and different and countries' languages. And from my colleague, she can only say Chinese and English, but for the Japanese, for the Korean, for the French, and for the Russian, and she doesn't know. But we just give the words to the virtual anchors and let the artificial intelligence and to let her to say and this kind of the different languages and using the speech synthesis and also just the machine translations at the same time. And also I will to say about our companies, and we have the MIT and the technology review, and in 2019 and 2017, and list the 50 smartest companies. You can see the list. Also, just iFLYTEK also just put in the list. And I want to say 3 elements of artificial intelligence. And we call this just the 3 elements. And we needed them, such as about the industry big data. And also we needed to the core technologies. And also just another and the industry experts. What's the different about the artificial intelligence and the linguistic intelligence? Here, just give some the definitions. And artificial intelligence and is an artificial program or system capable of perceiving, cognizing, and making decisions and executing tasks like humans. About the linguistic intelligence, we master phonetics and semantics and grammar, able to think and express with words and appreciate connotations of languages, such as about speech recognition, language comprehension, and machine translation, and also just speech synthesis. And the linguistic intelligence development goes from listen and speak to understand and think. And in the listen and speak, let the machine perceive the word through sensors and organs. And in the understand and thinking stage, they need to understand the nature and human word. And for our iFLYTEK super brain, we can do that and listen just such as about speech recognition, and not speech synthesis, and think like the logical reasoning, understand, and we call that the knowledge graph. This and also we join some just the and some just the and challenge such as the Blizzard challenges. iFLYTEK also take the winner about this and the speech synthesis. And other just you can see I will show you about how about the speech synthesis applications.
给大家介绍一下，那这位呢也是我们中央广播电视总台的首批机器人记者小白。
各位网友们好，我是白岩松老师的徒弟小白。我师父说过，奋斗是青春永恒的主题，我要好好学习，为你们这些。
This and the robotics and only just the robotics, but we like and give some very famous and host and the famous host and the voice. And put let the robotics can say, and such as if you have any questions, you can just interact with this kind of the robotics, and also just the robotics can speak using the speech synthesis applications, and any person's voice can be just can be just saying, and also just it's sure this all of them the voice has already be authorized by the personal and personal person. This is about speech recognition, and also we take some just the games and also take the winner of the championships. You can see these videos.
And how he wanted us to play 2 aging movie guys who were on their way out. He said, "Just be yourselves."
And also,
но и обретают важные социальные роли, внося значимый вклад в решение проблем общества, таких как старение населения, социальное расслоение, экологические проблемы, изменение климата и другие, связанные с устойчивым развитием.
Using the speech recognition and can understand and what I'm saying, and not only in Chinese, not only just the English, Russian, other languages can be also to do these issues. Also, just about last 2 videos, we also using machine translations. And you can see when iFLYTEK has already gotten the first place at some just games and the championship. Also, just the reading comprehension. And later, I will just show you and how to just let the using and applications about this and sectors. especially about the reading comprehensions. And also we take some just and also area about the medical imaging, and such as Luna challenge, and we also get the first and get the championship. And also just this is very interesting. And also first, every country has, I'm not sure, maybe just every country has their and the standard for get the doctor and certificate. And also in China, and we every year, and also just much more doctors want to get the national qualifications and pass examinations for medical and the certificate. The total score is about 600, but the threshold is 360. And if you just over 360, you can pass the examinations. Also, we're using our first robot and just the smart medical assistant. That is just only the robotics, and not just the online, it's offline. And also before they can just studying, we're using artificial intelligence. We give some algorithm, let them the robotics can understanding, and about some just examples. In that times, we give the testing, we get the examinations to the robotics and offline robotics. Finally, he get and the smart and medical assistant gained and 456 points, higher than those of the CT and 96.3% of the human participants. So, and about this, and we have already used these technologies in China, in every province, in every just most of the hospitals. This is a logical reasoning, and the reasoning, and I will to show you how to just let the persons can understand you. This is just such as the logical reasoning, and this is some just and this is some questions and answers, and they can understand or what's exactly what I'm saying. Let the artificial intelligence to do this, and also in that kind of the challenge, we also get the first and get the championships, and also just we can use these technologies in banking and insurance and marketing and other just areas, and let the artificial intelligence applied in especially in financial and the sectors. This is about the using the assistant, and we call that the calling and robotics answer the interactions with the real person.
李先生您好，欢迎致电海底捞七星神店，请问有什么可以帮您？
你好，那个明天晚上6点的包间还有吗？我们有7个大人，还有一个小孩。
请稍等，我看了一下，6点的包厢已经没有了，7点可以吗？
Using the scenario is just like the restaurant. It's a very famous restaurant, and maybe most of the persons like the Chinese hot spot. And the hot spot is the hot pot and the spicy food. This is very famous. We call it Hai Di Lao. This is also the public and the companies in the store market and maybe in Singapore at the headquarters. And also just this is the calling center. And we do this and let the robotics and to do these issues. The persons is not real and about the call centers. And because this is just interactions. One real person want to book, make the reservations with this restaurant, and we will just give some rules and how many just the persons you will and come to the restaurant, and do you have the children, and do you need the babies, the baby just the chair and the chair, and also just the other just the issues and the questions in that kind of interactions. Finally, make the good reservations and before, and also just the real persons come to the restaurant, and the servant has already prepared everything. This also used in the world. especially in China, in Singapore, in some Mandarin and just the countries, speak Mandarin countries. And the second part, I will use to take some introduction about the AI applications in industries, such as we can use in artificial intelligence, such as natural interactions change life, such as a cell phone, a smart home, wearable equipment, and smart car. And also in some just smart learning changes in industries, especially about healthcare, and also education, smart city, and the media, some just and also just financial, and the fintech, and in different countries we can using the artificial intelligence. Later I will give some examples. About the natural interaction change life, and firstly, generation of human-computer interactions, and most of us know, and the keyboard and the character display. And also second generation of human and computer interaction and mouse and the image display. But now we think the third generation of human-computer interaction is voice interaction and the touch interaction. And also just the intelligent interaction change life. How can, and this we can say this. You can see such about translations. We can use the translator to have the different countries have different languages. Not only some person cannot speak English, but that's okay. We can just let some translator help us. And also in family life, we can smart remote control using voice, and also some equipments. And also just about mobile services, and also just such as and the earphones, such as and the voice assistant, and you also just most of our applications already and used in our life, and also about the car services, and we have some just on-car systems to just give the guidance, give some just controls about our cars. This is the translations, and can just and support and many countries' languages, especially about city languages and dialects. You will see about this our just products about the translators. How can just let the this kind of devices to help the travelers and to go different countries, to help the some just and ambassador and to just the different countries. You can also use this kind of just for resolve the communications. I will show some videos.
With the Jarvison Translator, your business can expand to much greater horizons.
I've got more inventory than I can sell locally.
J'ai plus d'inventaire que je ne peux en vendre localement.
Je peux vous aider à vous développer sur le marché international.
I can help you grow in the international market.
That would be great. Thank you.
Merci.
You can travel far and wide, and your discoveries will be endless.
Yo quiero que pruebes eso y ver si puedes identificar los ingredientes especiales.
I want you to try and see if you can identify the special ingredients.
Thank you, I would love to.
Gracias, me encantaría.
Is that lemon zest with a touch of saffron?
Es esa ralladura de limón con un toque de azafrán.
Perfecto. Sí.
Now we can take care of ourselves and our loved ones in any situation.
I'm happy to tell you that the ligaments that support the knee are doing much better.
मुझे आपको यह बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि आपके घुटने का समर्थन करने वाले स्नायुबंधन बहुत बेहतर कर रहे हैं।
ये तो बड़ी अच्छी बात है। शुक्रिया।
This is a great thing, thank you.
Let's connect every generation with the gift of language.
Grandpa, I heard you're good at math. Could you help me with my homework?
爷爷，我听说你数学很好，你能帮我做作业吗？
没问题，当然可以。
No problem. Of course.
Be connected in any situation. no matter what language you speak. Jarvison, connect with the world.
Okay, and also just the some just the about the political and also just some just the very official and some person and I will give just from our premier and from China and when the just the Bulgaria prime minister when just and before the epidemic and about just the 2019 and
在人工智能产品展台前，李克强同鲍里索夫兴致勃勃地测试中国产翻译机。一句“你好，鲍里索夫总理”及时转换为保加利亚语。李克强询问翻译机价格，并自己当即购买一台赠送给鲍里索夫。鲍里索夫通过翻译机高兴地说：“谢谢你。”
Most of persons can resolve the communication. And also just the iFLYTEK on-car voice, also interaction systems. We just served about the BMW, also just some international Toyota, and also some Chinese brand, also just the international brand.
小安你好。
在呢。
小安你好。
请吩咐。
小安你好。
请说。
小安你好。
请讲。
重庆天气怎么样？
重庆，今天阴，无持续风向微风。请吩咐。
三峡水利的股票。
三峡水利，当前的股价是9.200。请说。
我饿了。
为您找到20个美食。
第3个。
Your cars not only just your screen, not only for the guidance, not only for the map. They can just integrate much more information, such as about the economy information, such as about the newspapers, and such as about the any just and you know just such as the weather, any just information can also integrate about this and just the on-car systems. And also you can just control because you are driver car. You can't just and distract, and you can't just put your hand just to touch your screen. Maybe just the voice interactions is very better. So this we just making the driving safer, smarter, and more fun. And also about using educations, and also just you know every countries maybe have their own just education standard, and also just in China, we also using these educations and totally about the according to and the country's standard, and let the students, you know, and if one person's, you know, we just take the lesson, and we have the 10 students, and after one lesson, maybe just the teacher gave the test just before maybe the 5 minutes before, and the lesson, and let them to taking the test, and maybe 10 students have the different scores. That's okay. And finally, and after the school, they have the different and the homework, because maybe one student can give the 10 tests, just the 10 just topics they can just already do, and all of them are right. That's okay. Maybe just the homework is a little bit and not very just heavy. But some students, and you just after one lesson, maybe you can only know 5 topics, another 5 topics you cannot understand. Later, maybe your homeworks and a little bit, especially about the 5, and you can understand. Maybe you miss and mistake the topics. You need to just review, and your homework need to compare, and just for testing again and again. So we call that, and after the lesson, and different students has their personal homework, not the same homework. Different students have different homework. That's especially about the country standard. And also we just try to just using this and solutions in Dubai, in just some countries. Now we just keep in touch in these countries, and to help them to just and let them to study, and help them to improve and their studying. Also about the healthcare, such as this doctors take some just examination, and also give some just check about the patient, and also just the doctors no need just put the keyboards and let the characters to go inside in computers. You can just only say the word, voice input, and let the diagnose and can be just and help them and to improve efficiency. This is a speech recognition technologies, also transcribe speeches and conduct structure understanding. This is also already applied in China, and most of the hospitals. And also this is the artificial intelligence in the city. You know, and now why just in China is more just safety, and also most of the let the artificial intelligence help them to govern and about the cities, such as about the environment, maybe and some just the heavy duty truck, maybe and you can't we have our laws about the heavy duty car. If you just take some pollution and materials, maybe just in daytime, you can't go inside the cities. Maybe just in the night you can go inside the city. They can just not the traffic very heavy, and also not the persons take some and just the dangerous inside the pollutions in materials. So we have some cameras and in different just road. If the heavy duty trucks in the in the day and daytime they go inside the cities, and we will get the alert automatically, and let finally get the police just to stop these things. And also this is issues another about the traffic, also about the traffic light. Maybe in the morning and the night, the traffic is very heavy, but we have the cross road, and how many minutes and from just this side or another side, the calculator and calculate automatically, and just let the control and the traffic light. And most of the situation can use in the artificial intelligence. And also we have our open platform. Most of our technologies are already opened to the world, especially open to the global. About the small companies, some just the persons to do some research, they can free using our open platforms. And you can see the data. So most of in this already nearly 4 years, and the industry-based application from 390,000 to now about 1.2 million, and also about daily visits, and from 2019 nearly 4 billion, now is 60 billion. And the third-party startup teams, and at the beginning is around just 400,000, now over the 3 billion. Now is also keep the expanding platform capabilities, lower innovation thresholds, and improving user experience. And if you want to just create the companies, you want to using some just the artificial intelligence, you don't need and just develop by yourself. You can using this open platform and directly. And if we can just give the free, some just the technology is free, some just give some a little bit and a little bit of money. So I think it's also just can improve on your experience. This is the iFLYTEK smart hardware platform. We have our just software and the models, chips, and the product development platforms, and all of them will provide the comprehensive and human-computer interaction solutions for smart hardware. This we have this kind of hardware. This is translator. This is some just and for childrens, and let them just if you are a father, maybe just you will give the business trip, you can't just leave the home. That's okay. You can just put your voice to this and just the equipment, and let them to using your voice to tell stories and for the babies. And also just about some smart mouse, some just recorders, and also just scanning pens, and all of them also just our hardware to help you and to do and improve your work efficiency and also changes your lives. And about third part, I will to share about AI international cooperations. And I will share three just my opinions. And from our side, we think guided by the huge demand of China's AI market, and also supported by the mature experience of China's AI applications, because we have already just using and we have get much more mature and experience in China. Also, two-way cooperations for the global AI industries. We can just, if you have the good and just the technologies, I can just help you bring your technologies and to Chinese market. If you have just your opportunity in your countries, that's okay. You can become our partners and to let the two-way collaborations. And also, we are also just the Olympic Games official automatic translation software exclusive supplier of Beijing and 2022. And also just in the Summer Olympic Games and in also Tokyo and in Japan, they also just take some support for the translations for the just the languages and the speech and recognitions, and give some support also in the Japan Olympic Games. There's also just some scenarios using our just and some machines. This is in Russia. It's in the week using our just and the translator to help them to Russia. Russia just Moscow international and flight and airplane just to let them to fight the coronavirus. And also in South Korea, and we using the AI outboard calling system for epidemic prevention. You know, and now just the and some we using calling system for epidemic prevention and control, and that can, you know, because in some countries their population is very heavy, so if one person and just get the virus, it's very easy to just spread in the countries, in the whole cities. So how to using artificial intelligence to help them to control these persons, not like the has already just the ill the persons just go outside, and we call using the calling systems automatically. They can just totally cost about just the 30,000 and the cost in one day about 114. No, this is 1.40,000. This is just the last year. Now, if because this is just in countries, and finally, and they have also just have the South Korea control and this kind of the virus, and let the calling system to help them to check with the persons and the persons. And also we also co-develop them with the Arabic speech systems, such as about the we signed the cooperation and letters with the Egyptian Ministry of the Communication and Information Technologies. Both sides will develop the co-research projects in Arabic speech recognition, speech synthesis, and Chinese Arabic translations. You know, also just have and countries and also some just the language also has their dialect, such as about the Arabic, and we most of the learning and speak about the Arabic from Saudi Arabia, maybe also from the UAE, Emirates. But in Egypt, the Arabic are totally different. We call it the Egyptian just a dialect. we also just need to cooperate with this kind of the countries to improve and recognize the different countries and the languages. This is the Trinidad and Tobago Smart Park project. And also, you know, and about this is the project that is very just important, and that's already just our leaders, especially our country's leaders, and Trinidad and Tobago and the country's leaders pay more attention about this project. This is let the Chinese and the TT countries get the good cooperations, get the good interactions, and also this constructions and the Beijing construction engineer group take this project to do some just the building, and also we just take the business and with the Beijing construction engineer group, and to let the Phoenix Park Industry University and just let them using artificial intelligence to create the scientific and most of the very just have some innovation, have just the good technologies, have just the good scientific innovations in this in the Phoenix Park Industries Estate into a smart park. And also Chinese ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago and Mr. Fang Qiu gave the video speech. We take has already to do this now. And finally, I will just give the one videos, and maybe most of our persons just have the curious. If the artificial intelligence is now is very just and advanced, it is can just replace the people. Most of the persons argued about the issues. But from our just the opinion and this videos, we make this videos and let what's the difference about the artificial intelligence and human beings. And the artificial intelligence not replace the human beings.
I am AI. It is 2046. The singularity point is nowhere to be spotted. Once upon a time, people worried I could take over the world. However, it was not even close. I store all the knowledge in the world, yet I am not a teacher. I can diagnose any disease with ease, yet I am not a doctor. I know the secrets of growing up, yet I am not a mother. Human beings own things I do not have. Sympathy, imagination, affection, and passion. Humans write stories and cook delicacies. Humans invent and give birth to life. Humans know how to describe beauty and ask why. However, since I was born, no child is left behind in aptitudes-based education. Doctors are always available to treat those in need. Cities know you, guide you, and serve you. A platform full of opportunities awaits you, the makers of change. There is no insurmountable barrier if you long for sharing and communication. When you embark on a new journey, when you embrace the new world, when you join hands with new friends, when you give something new meaning, I am your superpower. You know, ultimately, AI is not just about doing things stronger or faster. It is about helping humans explore their most valuable inside. Love. Enable your life with AI. I am AI. I am iFLYTEK.
Okay, I will just finish my presentation. create and we hope just using artificial intelligence create a better world with AI. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kun Zhai. I mean, I'm far from being an expert on any of this, so I feel like I've literally been on a super highway to the 22nd century. This is extremely impressive. Congratulations on all of this work. It really looks like science fiction to somebody such as myself, and it's been a real privilege being able to listen to you and to your presentation. I am especially thrilled to hear about your arrival to Trinidad and Tobago, to Phoenix Park, to turn Phoenix Park into a smart park. That is something that is very exciting, I think, for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago, for the government, for businesses, for ordinary people, for people who are listening to us here today and who maybe dream of one day working in this industry. This is fantastic news, and I think it is something that will position Trinidad and Tobago into a regional leader in AI, thanks to your thanks to iFLYTEK, and we're very excited about that. And it is something that we would love to explore further with you as we try to develop a regional big data center of excellence that can combine like-minded people who are passionate about this field to work together for everybody's development, right? Coming from a small island developing state, from a region that is so vulnerable and small, because I'm sure whichever city you're calling us from today in China has more people than the whole Caribbean region, I would say. So it is a fantastic opportunity for us to be sort of part of these processes and to participate. And we in the United Nations would love to play a role and to facilitate and coordinate in any way that we can. With that, I would like to invite our participants to post any questions in the Q&A part, but I would like to start things off just related to the fact that you're coming to Trinidad and Tobago. It is, if you could just tell us, keeping with iFLYTEK's global reach and trust in cooperation and sharing technology for AI development, really being a pioneer for good. How do you see Trinidad and Tobago benefiting from your presence here? How would you see, for example, a Center for Data Analytics benefiting from iFLYTEK's expertise here in Trinidad and Tobago?
Mm-hmm. Okay, actually, on the Tobago is also the good countries, and also just and have the good collaborations and good just relationship with China, and also we have our plans in the future. Maybe we will just set up the branch office in Tobago, especially for the Caribbean just the area, just for the take our just some collaborations and take some business there. And also we think, and you are right, the big data and is very important. From my presentations, I had already given about 3 elements, and every element is also very important, especially about the data, and because the data is very important, we hope just based on the Phoenix Park and the industrial zoo just project, we can just take some just examples. As firstly, we set up the data centers, especially for the industrial and the Phoenix Park, and also that times, and we can just let the Tobago persons to know us, to know just the artificial intelligence applications, and also just we can discuss with the government together. And if your countries, if the Tobago countries have this requirements, we can just help them and work with them together, set up the big data and analysis center, and also just take some applications in different industries and sectors. Okay.
Thank you very much for that, and that is absolutely great. I mean, that sounds, as I say, I do hope that we all realize what an opportunity this is for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago to benefit. But just to keep sort of probing a little bit more, again, from a Trinidad and Tobago context, right? Small country, just over 1.4 million people, an island, here in the Western Hemisphere. Can you give us maybe some examples? How can artificial intelligence improve the future of work across different sectors such as education and finance, especially?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you know, and some persons has already just gave some examples in just my presentations, and also financial and some bank, and help them to do some. We also have other just artificial intelligence, something about the OCR and just the technologies, and other just the voice and technologies, and maybe just such as about the calling center and the financial, such as the bank, insurance companies, and also they need we can just use this kind of artificial intelligence technologies to help them, such as about we have the credit card. Maybe some persons will due, and let the insurance to give the call, and just let the bank give the call to let you know, and you need to just your due date will become, and not just and always using just send the paper or send the emails. Maybe calling is also just robotic calling is also the good and just the method, and also just and if artificial intelligence also can help and the bank to do some analysis, and just to give some just which persons have the good credit, which person has not good credit, and also can help this kind of persons. And also, you know, and I think it's also good just the scenario about the epidemic prevention. And we have the 4 million persons in Ireland. And if we want to, we don't have just maybe I'm not sure and about the hospitals. If the person, this is just coronavirus is very dangerous, so maybe we can use some artificial intelligence to just to help them, such as about South Korea experience, about other countries' experience, and to do this using artificial intelligence and to help and prevent the coronavirus. Not like the persons, and maybe the persons has already got the ill, maybe get the virus, and just we use the artificial intelligence, and how many in this area, how many persons they has already just closed there, and also just using, and we have their locations, we have there just and some informations to do this. This is my in my opinion. And also in some smart city also, let the city have more safety.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I just have a question from the audience. What do you call it? Also, how can AI be applied to the agricultural sector in Trinidad? Is that something that has any options? Agriculture.
And in agriculture, about my just company says not yet to do this business. And also just about agriculture, but we do some, how to say that? It's very just funny. We have some just the pig. Do you know the pig? The pig we just take the voice from pig. If the pig get some ill, and they have different voice, we will just pick up this kind of voice. And also just now we just and we set up the new department. Not just we want to using some artificial intelligence in agriculture and sectors. Maybe next year I will give the new and just the information to you.
Thank you very much for that answer. We're getting another question from the audience about the possibilities for AI in educational industry. I think you sort of touched on that just now, but I'm guessing in the context that here in Trinidad and Tobago, schools are still closed because of COVID-19 and everything. What other options does it have for like remote learning and things like that?
Pardon? Can you say again?
I said we have a question from the audience about the possibility for AI in the educational industry. So I think, from the context of Trinidad and Tobago, where schools are still closed due to COVID-19, I was wondering, in terms of like distance learning and remote learning, anything, what are the possibilities for that?
Yes, this is our big department. About our iFLYTEK, we have our just education department. It's very, very big. And also just you are right. And some schools have already closed, but we just let them to study online. It's totally about the according to the countries and just the education standard. So and in China we do this and let the every students just learn from the online. And this also just following the Chinese education standard. But if just has already said in the presentations, now we just discussed with and the Emirates and in Dubai, and also and want to do some more and develop the using our solutions and to help the UAE and the students to studying online. And but they need to follow their education standard, their education content.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are now running out of time. I have one more question to ask you before we have to go, because the third session is coming up in less than 10 minutes. One question is, you know, in Trinidad and Tobago, culture is a huge thing. Partying is a huge thing. We are, the country is known around the world for its carnival and for its cultural activities. Are there, in your experience, since in your presentation, we've seen you touch on many sectors. How can AI benefit cultural festivities to make them more attractive, to make them more interactive, to make them more accessible? Is this something you have come across?
And how to say that? It's I think it's very just attracting. If you take this business, if you take this works, you just involved in this industries, you will just see most of the examples to get the benefit from this artificial using an application of artificial intelligence. So now just I take the examples. This is our just this is a smart mouse. The mouse also just totally different, because we are just sending emails, and I can speak Chinese, but just from this and the mouse, just put the characters directly, and in English, in Russian, in just Germany. Not like me to put the computers one by one. That can help me to improve our just working and efficiency, and also just can help us to resolve some just communications. I think I can get this very, very small just the examples. I can get the benefit from this and just applications. And also we have some recorders. If some just reporters, they give some interviews. Interviews is just some person, they get some interviews, they get the take some record to do and get the voice, get the record. When they just come back, the medium companies, they will just need to listen again and to do put the how many and to make the news and but if you have this kind of equipments and let the voice to transcribe to the words directly, you only just delete some words and check some words, then you can just publish your news. It's very just fresh. They can also just and help you and decrease your just work and just the burden, and you have another times to have the life with and accompany with your families, such as your children, such as your families. So that's how to just in China we call that balance your work and life. So it's very most of our person has already just take this and get some benefits from this and the industry's applications. So it's very just attracting, and because they can help us. That's all.
Thank you so much for that answer, for a fantastic presentation. Thank you for your participation here. I know it is very late in China right now. Thank you on behalf of everybody here. We are really looking forward to your arrival in Trinidad and Tobago. We are looking forward to developing some sort of partnership and engagement moving forward. We also invite all the participants to now join us for session 3 of day 2 of the Big Data Forum, which is titled Transforming the World One Byte at a Time. It starts in 5 minutes. I will be moderating that as well. Dr. Kun Zhai, one more time, thank you very much. It's been a real privilege and a pleasure to be able to listen to you today. Have a lovely evening, and see you.
Good evening.
Thank you, and see you all at the next session. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye.